It is quite interesting to see them going this direction. Usually we see things like this either in the devlog, rest in peace, or somewhere else like on Twitter, etc. But we're talking about it here on the main channel. Today Glowstick Entertainment uploaded a video around 1 minute where we hear some of the deleted lines from Bierce from Dark Deception, which confirms a lot of good stuff, and now I want to see some of them, if not all, in some sort of DLC or a spin-off or even Dark Deception 2. We will go through each line and we'll try to explain what it was and see how it explains the current canon story of Dark Deception. So without wasting any more time, let us begin.
Push and pull, twist and turn. Unlock the puzzle, and the puzzle unlocks you.
Okay, I don't know if you've played Batman Arkham series or not. Mad Hatter, one of the very underrated villains in Batman series, he had this puzzle area with clocks, vision being upside down. It was basically us being small in this huge architect around us. It was really cool. This line from Bierce reminds me straight of that. Why? Y'all remember in one of the earlier videos of Mama Bear and Sugar Teddies, I talked about Dollhouse. This reminds me of that, which was in my initial thoughts with Mama Bear, that it would be toys and Dollhouse and stuff like that, where we would face dolls, coming to that in just a second, and have puzzles to unlock stuff and use that to our environment and our benefit. Maybe this points towards us failing a specific puzzle which we were supposed to solve and unlock, but it unlocked us, meaning killing us. Mostly that puzzles might have had something to do with pushing buttons and pulling levers, turning knobs. Hey, I'm just throwing random speculations out here. I know it's a cut line, but it sounds really cool. I'm really hoping they would use Dollhouse in future projects, whether it be Dark Deception or any other game.
A sewer. Fitting, don't you think, considering how you've made your living on human filth?
This is obviously related to Stranger Sewers, and I can obviously see why they cut this line. This gave too much information on the lore of Doug Hauser. In Chapter 3, we learned that he was a disgraced attorney. He was arrested on many charges. Sexual misconduct was one of them. Now, one of you guys commented in the last video, and I would like to apologize that I wasn't dehumanizing or saying that those women were lying, that they've been harassed by Doug Hauser when they said that Doug Hauser sexually assaulted them, all 5 of them, and I would like to apologize that no, my intentions were never to make women villain in any sort of way. I know it may seem like it considering Bierce is untrustworthy, those women using Doug Hauser, but you gotta think of Tammy Hauser and Doug's wife too. Nothing is confirmed or concrete, and I didn't want to put that on anyone, specifically women in general, so I'll do better in explaining next time, and I will talk about this topic in the near future, so let's be clear on everything. Anyways, now we know why disgraced attorney was a thing. Y'all remember I made a video a few days ago where I talked about how Doug might have been involved in either covering up a crime or being part of some horrible crime. Well, now this line shows that he was, and he used his attorney privilege to get himself or other out of it, and now he would pay for it here. Still, take it with a grain of salt because it's a cut line. You never know if Doug's lore or story was changed in between Chapter 3 and 4.
Watch out for roaches. The ones down here are huge.
I believe there was supposed to be a part of sewers, roaches I'm talking about, or maybe in Chapter 4 somewhere, but I know in other deleted Bierce's lines he specifically mentioned turning us into a roach for our sake. We know roaches were a thing, now they're not. I really hope they double down on the idea of us shrinking or having a big size, which we'll come to at the end of this video, and use that to some extent in Dark Deception 2. Either way, I killed a roach yesterday. It was trying to fight me after I spared its life. What the heck, man? Seriously?
Well, I guess roaches really will eat anything.
This obviously double downing that there were programmed roaches, or supposed to, and if you don't do anything against them, they will eat us, literally. That's why I killed that roach yesterday. I still can't get over the fact that it was crawling on my leg like, dude, get off of me, you're disgusting.
Smells like bacon frying. Oh wait, is that you?
Okay, don't tell me that the first thing that comes to mind isn't Joy Joy Gang, more specifically one character in general. Now this is a pure speculation, but what if this was supposed to be related to the third zone of Joy Joy Gang, where the kitchen is heating up to its maximum potential? Understand this would be different than that self-destruct escape sequence, because these are two different things, but I wonder if you get fried standing too long on a specific area, and that's a dialogue you get after dying, or there were supposed traps that would spew fire and you would need to watch out before you run into them. Either way, it was a cool line.
The governor called, you've been pardoned. Oops, too late.
Now, I don't know about this one. Do we know if we ever had any political area scrapped? I don't think so. I mean, it would make sense considering he is an attorney, but still. The only thing I can think of is space level, using government and all of that, but that's way too stretched and I'm just reaching out for something that doesn't exist. I really hope they use that space level in any game in the future. Doesn't need to be Dark Deception, but any game that they make next, just use space sci-fi stuff. I'm a sucker for space, astrophysics, specifically in video games. Sign me up. But yeah, I think this may be related to the next line that I'm going to talk about right now.
I think you just became a prison bit.
Yep, we can confirm that there was a prison that got scrapped, and I can also think that it was supposed to remind Doug of the crimes he committed but never fully served in jail because of the bail. Again, that note from chapter 3. But I guess developers wanted to make sure that Doug never served at all, to really pinpoint that he really is a piece of garbage and is getting away and had gotten away in life in so many things, and now he's getting what he deserves. So at the end, when he faces Tammy Hauser, his daughter, he could explain that he went through all of that just to have one more chance at this. He could explain that, listen, I went through all of that because I realized what kind of a person I was. I lost you, my life, my family, and now he's here to fix it once and for all. Dang, let's not get emotional, boys.
Welcome to corporate hell. You're just a ghost in the machine, or you soon will be.
This is actually surprising that they never talked about an office. I remember in early forums or somewhere in the comments I heard there was a planned office area. See, that's the thing. Even the deleted ones make so much sense to be a level considering the history of our protagonist, but then again, prison, office, it would make a bit too clear for the lore, which wouldn't help the story at all. It would give away many mystery touch to it, which people and YouTubers like me carve for. Why do you think FNAF is so popular? So I'm happy that they didn't add prison or office part. Office doesn't need to be Doug's own firm or the firm where he used to work. It could be the lawyer's office who worked on Tammy and Doug's wife case after their death, or that he himself worked on it. Either way, you're just a ghost in the machine shows that the level was supposed to remind Doug in a ghostly way or vision or flashback way of that time or those times, to really double down on his guilt that he didn't felt after the death of his family. It would make a good level, but a little too realistic to be fair and not fitting of Dark Deception and the mystery surrounding its story and lore that we all know and love.
No dying on the job.
This really cements on my previous point and theory on what's going on with office, firm, and everything around Doug Hauser and his guilt. I think at this point my objective is to find if Doug felt any guilt at all, or even if he feels right now, because we know that he's here for some darkest desires, but does guilt has anything to do with it, or is there some other plans in Doug Hauser's mind? I am really concerned of who are we playing as. I know Notes says so, that he's feeling the guilt and all of that, but I want to know, was that before or after he got arrested, or that whole sexual assault thing, which I will make a video on, connecting Bierce with that arrest and everything, and how I believe Doug Hauser got here, but this is getting interesting.
You've got to admit, that's an impressive severance package.
This has to do, in my opinion, with previous 2 points that I made. This time, monsters in the office, where once you die in the office, this is where the line plays. Severance package, for those of you who are unaware, means it is a pay and benefits employees may be entitled to receive when they leave employment at a company unwillfully. Both work perfectly with Doug's condition on why he would want to leave, or more specifically, he would be pressured to leave. Remember the disgraced attorney and the negative press that he was bringing to his firm? Think about it, y'all. But no, it's just Bierce trolling Doug and player on when they die in a stupid office by a stupid monster.
Do you want to play a game? Dolly wants to play. She'll feed you arsenic tea or push you down the stairs. Won't that be fun?
Now see, this is where the fun begins. Dolly. Connect that straight with the first point of Dollhouse. I said it that time as well. Mad Hatter was obsessed with Tea Party. Don't tell me I didn't explain entire dolls, dollhouse, puzzles before this cut line even came through. Now please, can we put some respect on this channel? And more specifically, can we put respect on my name now?
Dolly wants to play a game. The game of stabbing you in the face.
To me, this is a reference to Annabelle and Chucky. If you've seen any of their movies, you know what I'm talking about. If not, do yourself a favor. Don't. Chucky's most specifically was the one who would use the knife and had scars on her face. Creepy. But just like Lucky the Rabbit, it is awesome to see classic horror inspiration connecting here in Dark Deception, because I know Vincent Livings is a big fan of horror in general, specifically the classic ones. Now hold on, I could just be making all of this on my own. They may not be the inspiration, but I just wanted to point that out, what comes into my mind after looking or hearing these stuff.
Dolly never gets tired of killing you. And I never get tired of watching it. Dolly loves you. Dolly loves you to death.
These two lines shows how big Dolly's role was supposed to be. It is sad she didn't, or it didn't make the final cut, but I can't imagine it chasing me and loving me and being obsessed with me to death. I think Dolly was originally Mama Bear, or she was supposed to be the big villain, or supposed to be in the level. They swapped last minute. I could be wrong, but the resemblance between Mama Bear and Trigger Teddy, therefore real face, well, at least Teddy's real face, and those other doll movies I talked about, specifically Dolly, come on y'all, don't tell me there isn't something going on here. Personally, I kinda want Dolly to return. Should we start a petition to make Dolly the main villain in Dark Deception 2? Let's do this, boys. Okay, now the final two are really interesting, and I would leave these two to you guys.
Big and grotesque, but I do like her shoes. Now that's a huge woman.
Who is this huge woman? Who are we talking about? Is it something that was supposed to be either Matron's sister or Mama Bear's cousin? What about Agatha's mother to get that final revenge on Bierce? Jokes aside, I really want to know who that huge woman was. If you guys know who she is, or Vince talked about it, or Glowstick Entertainment showed anything in devlog, let me know, because I know SmackNPie is smart and will do anything to prove the fact, because that's what we do out here. But boys, that would do it for this one. It was a fun time diving deep. I wish some of these made it to the final, but I have trust and faith in Glowstick Entertainment that they chose monsters and portals who were far better than these. Anyways, if you could bring one of these stuff back, what could it be and who would it be? Prison, office, Dolly, or that huge woman? Maybe Dolly is that huge woman. What?